Okay guys, this is the KZ-ESX, and KZ is celebrating 10 years of making IEMs, and this is their way of celebration. Alright, so this is the KZ-ESX. Got a very wide soundstage, very good technicalities. It's got a lot of air to it, and it's 12mm dynamic driver. Alright, so it's a really good IEM with a very nice and special design faceplate. Hi guys, my name's Ian. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I do mostly audio product reviews, and if you guys are interested in this type of content, do consider to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so that you get notified of my future videos. Okay, so let's get right into the review. KZ-ESX. I bought this with my own money, so this is what I'm gonna go through: the accessories, the fit and comfort, and the, of course, sound. Okay, so let's just take a look at what it comes with. Obviously, it comes in the box, and this is how the box looks like. It's got the 10th anniversary wording here. At the back, it's got the specs as usual. So let's just go through the specs. It's got a frequency of 20 to 40,000 Hertz. The impedance is 22 ohms. And the sensitivity is 111.59. Yeah. Okay, so this is the box. Comes with tips, right? So it comes with the Starline tips. So these are the Starline tips, okay, which KZ is famous for. Okay, 3 sets of it: small, medium, and large. Obviously, user guide and a thank you note. So let's just go through the thank you letter, right? Dear old pals, first of all, thank you for your support. KZ have been living for 10 years because of you. I think has been alive. I don't know. You may have known us for less than 10 years. Anyway, we still think of you as my old pals and want to tell you something from the heart. We started making earphones 10 years ago, and the market was expensive and messy. We didn't think that it was right, so we started KZ. Hi-Fi is not a logo, but a technology. Well, with honesty and knowledge, we make a lot of good earphones. Whether dynamic, BA, or electrostatic tweeter, we are proficient. Our pride comes from your choice. Our achievement comes from making it more affordable hi-fi. So if you enjoy KZ, let's start the next decade together. Okay, so this is their thank you note, and it comes with this commemorative coin. All right, so this coin, it's metal. It's definitely metal. Okay, not too sure if it's brass or copper. I think it's copper, most likely, and it's really nice. So you can keep this as a collector's item. Very nice little coin. 10 years being embossed in it. Okay, very nice coin. It's yeah, I'm gonna keep it in, well, stick it somewhere, you know, remind myself that this is 10 years of KZ. Okay, and this is the cable that it comes with. So this is the standard KZ cable. It's the single core or 2-core cable with a angle 3.5 headphone jack, right? And it's not braided. It's got a plastic Y splitter, very standard, and it splits up to this headphone cable ear hooks. Okay, so this ear hooks is standard as well, pretty soft and pliable. Okay, no complaints there. And the shielded QDC connectors. Okay, so pretty standard cable there. Now let's take a look at the star of the show, which is the ESX. Okay, so very nice faceplate. Okay, I like this design. It's got this industrial look. The part here, it seems to be made of metal, and it seems to be on another layer. Right, it's got 2 layers to it. So the grooves is actually real grooves, if you can see. All right, and on the bottom layer is another piece of acrylic. Okay, Looks like it's see-through. I'm not too sure. Got to open it up to see, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, and it's got vents on the side here, on the side just below the faceplate. Okay, and you've got the KZ logo here. Okay, here you have the 2-pin connector. Okay, so this is a very nice design. I like the faceplate. It's got a very nice industrial look to it, silver. So on the inside is a 12mm dynamic driver. As you can see, it's huge driver in a clear inner shell. Okay, and it's really nice. Okay, really nice. The filter is the paper filter. Okay, and the nozzle, it's a little bit narrow. It's a narrow to medium bore type of nozzle, and that's about it. Okay, so the fit and comfort. Okay, so one thing about this is that the nozzle, it's pretty long. If you look at the nozzle, it's a very long nozzle, and somehow it doesn't go entirely into my ear. So in terms of fit and comfort, it does wobble a little bit in my ear, so I have to constantly adjust it. Okay, so that alone is a little bit annoying, but in terms of the fit and comfort and the fatigue, in terms of pain, I don't feel any, so thank God for that. But other than that, the seal is okay sometimes, because when it wobbles, the seal gets loose and then I need to reseal it again, which is a little bit annoying. Okay, but that's just me. All right, so your ear may be different from mine, but yeah, so there's no fin on the back, and it's a pretty thick type of shell. Okay, maybe because of the driver, but yeah, but other than that, in terms of fit and comfort, the ear hooks sits really well on top of my ear with the IEM in my ear, so no pain, and I can wear it for quite some time, not for a very long time, because I'll need to adjust it, and after a while of adjusting, you know, I get a little bit tired, so I have to pull it out. And yeah, but that's just me. All right, okay, so let's talk about the sound. So for that, I've obviously measured this IEM. Let's take out my graph and let's talk about the sound. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, I have graphed out, I've measured these ESX, and just a disclaimer. All right, so if you are reading a graph without listening to it, please take the graph with a pinch of salt. Just read it with a pinch of salt. Don't take it as a Bible, right? Because graph will not tell you everything about the earphone or the IEM, right? It tells you some part of it, which is the frequency response, but it does not tell you the tone and the timbre and the technicalities of an IEM or the earphone. All right, so with that said, let's get right into the sound. Firstly, let's get on with the technicalities of these IEM. These IEM, in terms of tone and timbre, it's natural to neutral. Yes, you heard me right. It's a little bit lean, right? So it's not a warm type of sound that it produces. Okay, the note is a little bit on the neutral side, not too heavy and not too light. Okay, now in terms of the soundstage, man, these are fantastic. It gives a lot of air. It's got a lot of room. Okay, it's a very wide soundstage. It's got the depth, it's got the height, it's got the width. Not much of a layer, not much of the separation in terms of the different layers, but it's got that depth, the distance. Okay, so it's got a very deep soundstage and a very wide soundstage, and that alone gives me that sensation where I can feel that I'm in a concert hall or an orchestra type of opera type of concert type of sensation, right, with that type of soundstage. Sound separation is really good. All right, sound separation, you can actually pinpoint the imaging and the positioning of the separate instruments in the mix. All right, so in terms of imaging, sound separation is fantastic. It's really wide. At the same time, you can feel like the violins or the backup singers, they are really far back, and you can hear the incoming small little sound of that bell on the left side or that right side. So in terms of imaging and sound separation, this is really fantastic. Okay, detail retrieval and resolution is also very good. All right, details of the nuances of that little sound at the background, I can pick it up. Right, the violins, that little strut of the violins, little tap of the drum, it can be heard. Right, so detail retrieval and resolution on these are really good. And later I'll compare this IM with a few other KZ IMs so that you guys have a more of a feel of how this IM will perform as compared to the other IMs, the other KZ IMs. Okay, so in terms of technicalities, the tone and the timbre, I mean, tone and timbre is a little bit on the lighter side. It's not a warm type, and it's more of a neutral neutral tone and a light and neutral type of note weight to it. All right, so let's talk about the sound. Okay, so the sound signature of this IM is more of a very mild V shape. All right, it's a mild V shape, as you can see. All right, so the mids is recessed. All right, the bass is elevated, and the treble is also elevated. The gain to the treble is pretty good. All right, this gain here. So in terms of the sound signature, is more or less like a mild V shape. It's not balanced. It's still V shaped. It's got very impactful bass. So let's talk about the bass. All right, so sub bass is rumbly, is well controlled rumble. Okay, the extension of rumble is really far. It's really good. It resonates really far, and it's got that what do you call that body to the rumble. Okay, but because of that really light note, the texture of it is not too prominent. Okay, I'm not too sure if that's the word to use, but it's not too prominent to me. But in terms of the rumble, it's there, it's controlled, it's not warm, it does not bleed. It's a very solid rumble, solid sub bass. Okay, the mid bass is impactful. Right, it's again, it lacks that texture, but the impact is there. It gives that really good oomph and the punch in the mix, and it is really present. Okay, so in terms of the frequency in the whole entire mix, it's there. Okay, it's just that it's a lean type of impact. Okay, so when the impact comes, it's like, oomph, I'm gonna slice you, right? I'm gonna poke you, and I'm gonna come out really fast. So it's a really fast bass, goes in, comes out really fast. In terms of repeated bass, kick drums, it's really fast, and it picks up. So this IM picks up that repeated kick drum really fast, and you can really hear that. So in terms of sub bass, mid bass, it's solid, it's serious, or it's very serious type of bass, and it's impactful and rumbles. Alright, so the vibration is there, the impact is there, so you will not be disappointed from the bass. Okay, the mids. Okay, so mids, it looks like it's recessed, but actually it's not. Right, so instruments, they do sound really forward. All right, and instruments like the violins, the pianos, the clarinets, they sound really nice and forward. Okay, they're nice and clear. They don't sound warm, right? They don't sound too neutral as well. So it's somewhere in between natural sounding type of instruments, which is good. I like the natural sounding type of instruments. Okay, they sound natural. They are not too laid back. They're not too warm and too heavy note weight. They don't sound very heavy, right? The violins and the flutes, they come in, they bring the energy to the track, and then they go, right? So it's a really good type of mids. So instruments, they sound really good. They don't sound laid back at all, and they do sound forward. So even though it looks like it's a mild V shape, that's why I say it's a mild V shape. It's not a very serious V shape, but yeah, instruments, they sound great on these IMs. Male vocals, right? Let's talk about vocals. So male vocals, they sound good. Okay, good. The authority is there. I mean, it's present, but it does not sound that warm, and the present is not like I'm in charge here type of male vocal. All right. So male vocals, they do sound forward. They don't sound laid back, but the authority is just a little bit behind, right? A little bit behind there. But I can say that they sound really clear, really nice, and really present in the mix. It's just that the tone and the timbre of the male vocals is a little bit on the natural side. They don't sound warm, and because of that, the impact is there of the rumble, the low rumble, low octave of the male vocal. It doesn't sound that gritty enough for me. Okay. For the female vocals, on the other hand, they sparkle, right? They are bright, okay? They sound energetic. They've got, the tone and the timbre is a bit on the lighter side, and female vocals, they shine, right? So I like listening to female vocals on these IMs because they really bring that energy to the track. They are really prominent and really forward, and they sound really soothing and sparkly to listen to. All right, so they don't sound laid back. Okay, female vocals do not sound laid back. They sound really forward, really good in the mix, brings the energy and the brightness to the track itself. Okay, so that's for vocals. Now let's move on with the treble. Treble is, I would say, the presence of the treble is a little bit lacking, right? In terms of the brightness of it. It's bright. I'm not saying it's not bright, but it's not bright enough, right? The brightness is a little bit shy for me. Cymbal strikes, they are present. Okay, they extend really far. Okay, it's got good extension. They sound a little bit synthesized, is if I may use that word. But yeah, cymbal strikes, they sound a little bit too extended. All right, if you look at the treble right here, because the treble peak on the 8K, it comes back at around 11K, and it drops off and it comes back again, right? So in terms of the treble and the air, okay, and I think that's the reason why this IM sounds really airy, because of this part here. It's got that air to the treble. So the treble is actually contributing to the sensation that this IM sounds wide. Okay, so but treble is controlled. Okay, crystal clear treble. Okay, crystal clear. They are not sibilant. They are not shouty. There's no sibilance or shoutiness on this, because of the 2K to about 5K is not really present. Okay, it's not the forward enough, not bright enough to be sibilant. Okay, so in terms of the treble, it's okay. It could be better. All right, I would prefer it to have more presence in terms of the treble. Okay, but I have no complaints with the treble, with this tuning, the entire tuning in as a whole. Okay, so that is my conclusion of this KZ ESX. All right, so I think this is a great IEM, and I love listening to orchestras. Right, orchestras. and operas on this IEM, classical. So it's got a really nice airy soundstage and airy feel to it. Very nice to listen to. The bass is there. It's got enough bass for me. Enough treble. It's not sibilant. It's not shouty. It's got that brightness there and that sparkle there, which I like. So in terms of, I mean, it's not really balanced because the bass is really prominent. But it's a nice mild V-shaped tuning, which is really appropriate for their 10 years anniversary anyway. Okay, so let's compare this with some other IEMs. This is the ZES. Okay, so this is the KZ ZES, which is also, by the way, 12mm dynamic driver. Okay, both have the same driver in there, but I think this one has got a different driver. I'm not too sure. All right, I have to open it up to see, but I can't. But yeah, so in terms of the soundstage, these two, I would say this is an upgrade from the soundstage of this. It's got a wider, it's got a taller and deeper soundstage. Okay, so in terms of detail retrieval and the resolution, this one is clearer. Okay, it sounds more resolute. This one sounds a little bit more muted. Okay, as compared to this when I, compare them. Okay, DQ6S. Okay, so DQ6S is not really a fair comparison, but DQ6S, they sound really warm, and it's got that really soothing listening experience to it. Okay, and it's got that full body textured type of music that it delivers, that type of sound. As compared to this is more of a natural, not really up to the analytical type of level, but this one is really warm as compared to this. So in terms of warmness, in terms of easier to listen to, I would say that the DQ6S is easier to listen to, but this one sounds clearer. Well, this one sounds clear as well. I wouldn't say that this one doesn't sound clear. Both of them have good resolution and detail retrieval, but in terms of soundstage, this one has got definitely a wider soundstage as compared to the DQ6S. Okay, and the CRA Plus. Okay, CRA Plus, they sound a bit dark. Okay, in terms of treble, warm as well. The bass is almost the same, but the bass has got a darker bass and more texture to it. Okay, warmer bass. Okay, the treble's almost the same. Okay, but it sounds that again the ESX has got more a wider soundstage, and it's got in terms of technicalities, this one is a little bit better. Okay, it's got a wider soundstage, better detail retrieval as compared to the CRA Plus. Okay, what else? Okay, I've just received this, so it's not a fair comparison because the EDX Ultra, I'm still listening to it, but just had a quick comparison. This one, the ESX, has got again wider soundstage, but in terms of the tone and the timbre, these two sound about the same, and in terms of the treble, these two sound about the same as well. This one's got a little bit wider soundstage as compared to the ESX. This one's got a bit more bass shelf, but other than that, yeah, it's almost comparable. But I need to listen to this a little bit more in order to conclude. Okay, and last but not least, the EDA, right? And this is the EDA balance. Now, right off the bat, the ESX has got a wider soundstage, definitely. But in terms of technicalities, I would say that this one has got a little bit more resolution and detail retrieval as compared to the ESX. Okay, this one has got more bass, and the texture is tone and timbre is about the same, right? So it's about the same. This one sounds just a tad bit warmer compared to the EDA. Okay, so pretty comparable. But yeah, if you ask me to choose one, I'll definitely choose this for the soundstage. Right. So these are my comparisons of the ESX against all the other KZs which I have. Right. So far, I've a bit more, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to compare everything. Okay, so for $32, I think, and it's 10 years anniversary, you get a nice copper coin anyway, right? So this is a nice copper coin, for $32, is worth the money, right? And it sounds good, right? So that's it. That concludes my review and impressions of this KZ-ESX. If you guys enjoyed this video and or learned something from this video, do consider to give this video a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Right, so I wish you guys have a great day ahead, and I hope to see you guys again in my next video. Peace.